Alright everyone, today here we have a NuTone Verandah Deluxe ceiling fan in white and polished brass. This fan is from 1983 and I got it off Facebook Marketplace last year. These fans are really interesting, both by design and by operability. This fan in particular, you can tell, was hung on a sloped ceiling, hence the sloped ceiling adapter canopy. Excuse me. But thankfully this design also allows it to be hung on a regular horizontal ceiling as shown. But the reason why I say these fans are interesting by operability is for two reasons. One, the two methods this fan can actually be run, as well as two, the pull chain sequence for one of the ways it could be wired. So this fan has a black, white, as well as two red wires coming out of the canopy for wiring. So obviously the black wire brings power to the fan, the white is the neutral, and one of the reds goes directly for the light, but the other red bypasses the variable speed control, in which if you wanted to use a wall control instead. And knowing NuTone actually made their own both 3, 4, and variable speeds fan switches. So granted, if you were to see one of these mounted on a wall control, it was very likely back in the day that was a NuTone control, since NuTone did a lot of stuff with their own products, especially switches and everything. Not only just for ceiling fans, but for bathroom fans as well. They were really out there. But anyways, with a typical fan from this era, you'd have a black, a white, and then either a blue or a red for the light fixture, which was optional. Obviously, some brands did blue, some brands did red. It all just depended on what fan you had back in the day and which brand and everything. But these ones are interesting since they have two reds of the same type. One does the light, and then one is a optional bypass if you wanted to have it on a wall control instead. So power would actually go to the fan, and then to the wall control, and then back to the fan again. So it was a really interesting wiring method that they configured up back in the day. And the pull chain sequence is pretty interesting as well. It's known as vari-low, as they call it, variable speed low, because the pull chain itself actually has only two options. The first pull sends the fan directly to high speed and bypasses the variable speed control. It does nothing. And then the second pull puts it on the variable low speed, making the variable speed knob operating the fan, and then the third pull is off. The reverse switch is on the motor housing itself rather than on the switch housing, which is also another interesting feature, since that's what Fasco did with their fans as well back in the day. But other than that, this fan fully works, it's fully functional, and it's very ornate and beautiful looking, and it blows some really nice air. So we'll go ahead and give it a demo. there you have it. Thank you very much for watching and hope you enjoyed.